Okay, so this needs to be 6 layers, so I'm going to fold that up. You can figure out the most efficient way to do this, but it's very important, actually I wouldn't say very important, absolutely necessary to cut the fabric on the bias. So I folded this over once, I'm going to fold it over 1, 2, okay. So now I've got 6 layers here. The grain lines are going this way, side to side, up and down, just the regular way that the weave of the cloth is meant to be. But for this kind of project, we have to sew the lines at a 45-degree angle, which are these lines right here. So I'm going to set this on the lines and just do a quick chalk line going across. There we go. Okay, you only need to do 1 chalk line because you're going to be doing these lines a 1/2 inch away from each other, so you can either use a quilting ruler or follow the lines on your needle plate. Alright, so I've got my machine set at a 3. It can be, it doesn't have to be exactly a 3, but it does not have to be a very tiny stitch, because these are going to be immediately sewn onto things afterwards. This might make it faster too to do the quilt lines if you do a larger stitch. Okay, I've got a quilting ruler here so that once I do my first line, I don't have to draw every single one of these. You don't even have to do a lock stitch for this, because like I said, this is just to set up the strips before you cut them. So we're going to line up the last line with the quilting ruler so that the lines are 1/2 inch apart. It is important that the lines are 1/2 inch apart. If they are larger than a 1/2 inch apart, then they are going to result in bigger pom-poms, and the pom-poms, especially with only 6 layers, they're not going to fluff up into pom-poms. They're just going to look messy. If you want to draw the lines on beforehand, you absolutely can. Just make sure that they are a 1/2 inch apart. But if you have a quilting ruler, it's not necessary. Just half inch. Thank you. Now just imagine that, you know, this whole thing has been quilted with the 1/2 inch lines. And then we're going to take a rotary cutter and we're going to cut halfway in between each one, all the way down. Okay, so if you've quilted everything, then you can just cut all of these strips and they're all done. They're not falling apart. You don't have to stack little squares. And once you've got all of your lines quilted and you have cut in between them, you'll have just a mess of these little strips that you can then cut into further little 1/2 inch guys. They're squares. They are that big. You can almost see that is 1/2 inch wide by 1/2 inch tall. They are completely together, so they're not going to fall apart in between cutting them and putting them on the hat. You don't have to make up every little stack. You do all of this before, and then you have a bag of pom-poms that can be put onto the hat like a button. Each section has about 6 pom-poms, so it's about 36 pom-poms per hat. The back sections obviously are smaller because of the cutout, so you can just do 5 there. What I try to do is I try to get, you know, at least 2 of these front section pom-poms as close as I can to the the brim. It's kind of difficult because of how hard this is. So just try to get 2 of them as far down as you can, and then space the rest of them out evenly. There is a diagram in the instructions if you need to look at a diagram. These don't have to be placed exactly. They just need to be evenly spaced out.